Okay, I found something that I kind of want to try. Reason to play. I'm gonna try comorbidity. Actually, I was thinking about it. It's actually crazy that the downside on Pathfinder for multiple poisons is so intense, like 35% less poison duration. Poison is already not that. It's not really played that much. The node is already behind a pretty useless node. The one that spreads poison, because you can get that as an aura. And even in a case like this, where it's actually useful, because you can't run Herald of Plague without a martial weapon, I still don't take it, you know? So I think they need a bit of a rework on those nodes. They're just too weak. And it's just, if you want to play a poison build, I am playing a poison build, and you don't take those nodes, it's like, well then, Anyway, I want to try comorbidity on, it is only useful on bosses, I think. I put it on shield charge. They won't let you put it on. They don't let you put it on Herald of Plague. No, Plague Bearer. Sorry, sucks. Which means technically I should get 3 poisons. Like, it's +1. Oh, it's so complicated. +1 global, and another +1 local to. Oh wait. I'm collecting breach splinters here. Yeah. Is it touching the clasped hands? I think that's what gives you the splinters. One thing I like about this build, I like about all builds, and you know, people have called this out before on their streams, visibility. I don't know about you, but I don't like builds that just spam the entire screen with FPS crippling visual effects. It's just, how do you play the game at that point? You don't see anything on a screen. And I think PoE 2 already has a visibility issue with like so much crap all the time everywhere, that your character filling it up with more crap, ooh, I don't know. It's like that noisy party where like nothing really makes sense. It's just chaotic everything. 39 splinters? This is like 5 exalts. Holy. I'm not going to bother the rest of the map. It's enough for a breachstone. But I will not do T4 because if you're testing and you don't get to try again. So I just want to see if like the rotation of just shield charge, plague nova, shield charge, plague nova, like you should get 3 poisons, right? And I think only a T4 a T something boss will let you do that. Okie dokie. Is that enough? Yeah, I have a breachstone. Okay. But be very careful. This is so annoying too. Nope. Refund passives. Let's take some off the breach. It doesn't matter, does it? Does that affect the I think it affects the let's just do T2. Is that T2? Yeah, let's just do T2. Let's work our way up. It's really cheap, these splinters, so we can have multiple tries and ramp up. Realm Gate. I know with Flicker Strike, I had a not very fun time doing the initial part of the breach, because it just teleports you everywhere, and like sometimes if you miss one mob that's trailing behind you and then you flicker again, you can be sent all the way back to like, it's weird. It's not fun doing Flicker Strike through a breach, I gotta say. I mean, through this kind of breachstone where you have to progress in one direction. Yo, if you want to try another build, I highly recommend Flicker Strike. I mean, that's not Lightning Spear. Flicker Strike is really good. I mean, if you can get yourself a good, was it quarterstaff? It's fun. I mean, like, you know, and you really can kill bosses. Oh, this is not fun either. I'm getting pressured here. Wait. I'm not pushing. That's why. There we go. You know, nah. It's okay. So there are others other than shield charge, right? Although shield charge is nice. I mean, you're blocking everything, I think, right? When you're rushing, like you have 100% block at that time. It's pretty nice. No joke. You want to approach the enemy, like all projectiles eaten on your way there. Nice. I love the Breach music. It is so good. I mean, PoE 2 has... I listened to the D2 soundtrack, and D2 soundtrack is genius. Like, for a game that came out in 1990 something, 8, 7, that music soundtrack is just beyond its time. And it took 20 years for something that, in my mind, is either rivaling or at least equal to that soundtrack. The PO2 soundtrack is so good. I mean, you can't tell me you don't get moved by Count Geonor's, what is it? That boss fight, the music there just sends chills down. Like, you know, not anymore. Well, no, still now. Like, Count Geonor is a great, is the fight with him, is a reason why I don't mind playing the campaign again sometimes. Because that is such a wonderful boss fight. You look at boss fights from other games in the RPGs, and then you look at Count Geonor fight, and it's like, wow. Like, the potential for a really well-scripted and well-designed boss fight, it's out there, right? But only PoE 2 made it clear that it's doable. Yeesh. They're probably not worth much anymore, right? I'll take them all. I will take them all. This was useless. Ashes Catalyst, which is the one they want. Everyone wants the attack one, right? You know, no joke. There is no doubt in my mind. There is definite non-arbitrary weighting behind the loot drops. I'll prove it to you right here. Okay, I'll drop this. The what's it? Oh no, I lied. Reaver is 5. Okay, it's RNG. Because everyone wants this one's the most expensive, right? Reaver. Because attack builds are so good this league, right? This patch, right? And Neural is like nobody wants it. And I was gonna say like I thought no Reavers dropped, but 5 did. So X that idea. We'll see. Could just got lucky. I should collect these catalysts in the long run and do a little bit of a test. See like if the conspiracy theory is true, and GGG is like manipulating, or I don't say auto balancing drops. So let's say like what is it? Reavers are really they wouldn't do that. The price would go up naturally anyway. Keeping RNG, just the demand is so high that it gets consumed so quickly. But yeah, whenever I see that pattern happening in the game, I just don't use those kind of rings usually. Like when mana stacking was so popular, you move away from mana stacking. Like, you know, just don't do it. Don't play that game. Don't scale that, you know, to the end game like so hard, because bots are waiting for you to do that. All right, let's try it. So despair here, this pop. Okay, this kills T2 Zesht fast, and he didn't get time to do anything, which, in my mind, a pinnacle boss, the most important thing is he doesn't get the chance to do anything. I'll review that. It was kind of like, what is this? Is this good? Let's see. This is T2 though. And I think T3 would be more of a resistance because does HP double or is like 25% more? But it was, I gotta review the video. How much damage was that? Just don't do it. Don't play that game. Don't scale that, to the end game like so hard, because bots are waiting for you to do that. All right, let's try it. So despair here, this pop. Okay, this kills T2 Zest fast. Okay, here, this pop. Okay, I looked at a video. Okay, so comorbidity. Definitely you'd want this support in for pinnacle bosses. I saw the poison count go to 3. And when you saw it, and I can see why they call it escalating toxins, because the DPS ramps, of course, pretty damn hard if you have 3 of the same poisons ticking down on the boss. And because poison damage is so significant in this build, that is a multiplier. And you don't need the node for 6 though, because this is such a slow attacking build. I don't think it'll ever hit 6. I don't know if I can do the math there, but like it was hitting about like on a third poison. Let me review that. Let's see. Let's do this. Okay. Actually, this thing has. It actually could, if you scaled skill speed. Because by the time it was the rotation was simple. It was Curse Ground with Despair. Then you fire off a. This trick is well known now, I think. There's a streamer they call Miso X Shiru he does really good educational videos on PoE. He's really good. He explains things in very good detail, and he tests them on like an Act 1 boss with low damage, which is like, the effort to do that is I think he's good at knowing the game. But you have this wand, the Wicked Quill, whose only purpose is to inflict withered. Talk about enforcing a weapon swap. But then you use Eye of Winter with Unleash. The acceleration hits a lot. But in that video I get only 1. I'm not aiming it right. Look, but I don't want to be conscientious of how to use this because it's kind of lame. Like withered stacks, okay, get 2-3 more. No, it's more than that. If you can aim it properly, that's a lot more poison damage. So it would serve the build really well if you use it properly, because he said that you get 5 stacks or like 50. Is it 50%? I don't know. That's a lot of stacks. So, and because for this build, there's no doubt that getting a Chaos Inoculation from nothing is the best play. You get this, just a straight up 11%. Okay, minus the other one, so like maybe 7% more damage with the wand. Still good. And this though, 20% increased effective wither is pretty good. And also, when they enter your presence, right? So you get a free wither stack, boom, right away when they enter your presence. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. And then these 2 nodes, good. I mean, I think there's no other sources of increased effective withered, right? This is the only place. Oh man, here we're gonna deal with this shitty UI again. Like, look, where's Waldo? Where is the flashing? You have to confirm that there really isn't one. And that's annoying. It should be like, you span over the damn thing. It's like, yeah, there's none. And how's that possible? Red, orange, purple. Colors that stand out to the human eye. Like really bright colors. Okay. No need to be subtle here. Like, is this flashing? I just noticed it is flashing. But you pay attention to it very closely and it's flashing. Yeah, anyway. Unique to this area only. I also noticed one thing. Why is this? I thought bosses are really easy. Even when you screw up and you don't do like big damage, but it's easier. And you know why? it's this ring, Ice Fang Orbit, because it's not just a poison on hit and magnitude of poison, which of course are really good stats for a poison build, but you have all damage from hits against poison targets contributes to chill magnitude. And what that means, like I rewatched a clip, Zesht was at 25% chill off the first attack. You want to do shield charge first, okay. You do Plague Bearer first, okay. The hit is big enough to cross the ailment threshold and give him an immediate 25% chill. And that's pretty big. Like if you want to go even further, you stack that with temp chains, and like you should. I mean, ideally for a bossing setup, it makes no sense to run. Oh no. Well, okay, if you have an amulet, a better amulet that has 30 spirit, or an armor that has 30 spirit, you dump Ghost Dance, and you have enough to run temp chains. That's a no-brainer, I think, because low action speed on the boss's side is really good. I mean, I'm telling you, man. I mean, aside from those baller PoE gamers that just obliterate bosses like every time, no joke, like no question. The number one cause of, well, obviously, people die to. I think people often die to bosses. No shame in that. It's coded to like kill you really quick if you don't dodge. And you know, a great trick I thought was if you want to know a boss real well, GG had a really good change they implemented in the previous patch, where like the lowest difficulty has unlimited respawns. So although that means you're guaranteed to get a kill, like eventually, one thing you can do is equip a shitty weapon. Like this actually takes a bit of effort on your part, which is kind of shitty because I don't like doing that either. But if you want to practice the boss, so to speak, you either equip a shitty weapon or you just use a spell, like something you're not expecting to, and try to kill the boss. And you will now know pretty well by heart the dangerous stuff he puts out. Now, granted, if you have the pressure of a T4, where you fail, you lose your Breachstone. You might throw those out the window under pressure. I do. I don't play well under pressure usually. And this is an action ARPG, but anyway, the pressure is because you only have one attempt. If you had like unlimited attempts, there's no pressure. It's a completely different fight if you have unlimited attempts, because you can just try stuff. You can go risky. You can, and there with Zesht, you'll realize that the safest place to be is right next to him every time. No joke. You can even do like what, just play a little game with yourself. How long can you survive against his attacks? I did that too. And it's pretty fun. He's got really cool animations. He's a really well made boss, like visually speaking, and the music's really good too. But also you realize that the guy he becomes super dangerous in the second phase, which meaning like after he has an enrage at 50% HP, and after he enrages, his cooldown for his abilities becomes really short. So like, if you imagine he's a boss, and he had a skill bar. He has a skill bar, right? He's got hand fall from the sky. He's got lightning burst. He's got ice projectile vomit hell. He's got all these skills on cooldown, right? You can only use one at a time, but there's a cooldown on them. And I think what happens in the second phase, the cooldown goes to like 0. He just spams them non-stop on you. So at that point, if you're not hurting the guy, if you haven't already kind of killed him already, it's a nightmare to apply your DPS while he's throwing out one-shots all over the screen, or near one-shots, right? Either you're so tanky that damage is nullified completely, in which case it's a very easy fight because you can play PoE 1 style, just face tank him, tank and spank. But if you don't have that defense, That's where you have, see, this is where it gets extreme. You either have super defense so that you don't really get killed by him easily, so it's really comfortable fight. It may take longer, but it's comfortable. Or you don't care about your defense and just obliterate him before he does anything. And if you want to farm him, of course, obliterating him is much preferable, right? Because there's no point in like dragging the fight on for no reason. So this build, of course, is leaning towards the kill him before he makes a move, as the defense here is nowhere near to be sufficient to be to tank his most dangerous and annoying attack, which I still scream and panic whenever I see it, has got to be his hand that drops from the sky. And as much as I try to practice that with the, if you have blink, it's not as bad. There's two of them. The hand that falls from the sky and his multiple hands that just slam down, like one after the other. Those, if you are taking high damage from that, it will, for me, it induces panic. Like, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. And then comes the Sinister Design, which if you play Clear Obscure, they do the same thing. The timing of those attacks, from what I can tell, is specifically orchestrated to catch people who panic. And it makes sense, because let's say they work on the fight for so long, and they test it on people. And if they left it in the sense that if you get hit once and just spam dodge, which is everyone's natural reaction after, and then you just avoid everything, then the boss is too easy, right? As long as you can tank one of the hits and you spam roll afterwards. Because spam rolling after that is so easy, right? Everyone can do that. What is hard is to delay the dodge rolls later, or like to not panic, which then becomes on the opposite end of the hard, because it becomes very hard because you have to do the counterintuitive thing, which is to relax after your HP gets drained like so hard. And I'm gonna be honest, like, this game being an ARPG and you're repeating fights over and over again, you can get good at that for sure, right? Like, I know I've seen like people in parties which is they're really good at the fight. They don't get hit by this stuff. Younger guys, I guess, huh? Maybe. But well, I can dodge the I want splinters though. Well, let's do a boss too. Well, I can dodge the whatchamacallit. I can dodge the hand attacks sometimes. I can dodge the big hand attack sometimes. If I am 100% relaxed and focused entirely on dodging, it's doable. However, you don't always have that perfect set of conditions, right? Especially if under pressure for like if the Breestones cost you a lot of currency. I don't know. I feel pressured. That's why I don't do Arbiter anymore. I practiced him once on T0, and kind of like Simon in Expedition 33, I said, nah. They updated the corridor. I gotta try it again. But, I hope the price for Arbiter fights go down because it's so expensive. But anyway, I legit wasted like 10 divines, really, on that guy, Arbiter. Like, I was just so pissed off at that guy. I wanted to beat him, and I practiced him on T0, and honestly, I could not, with 100% confidence, always dodge the corridor phase, or the phase where he like drops the ball and psychs you out, like he makes you think that's a safe zone, and he just nukes that zone. Like, it's just the whole fight. I feel like it's just designed to like turn your own instincts against you, which makes it an unpleasant fight in my book. And I don't want to torture myself on fights I don't like. I'm almost dead. I didn't even notice that. And in contrast to that, like Maven. Oh, Maven is a great fight from PoE 1. I don't know. Some people hate the memory game. I think the memory game is great. I think that's the perfect balance. Like, You know what the difference is, though? You have 6 portals, man, on Maven. Like, I could not do the memory game every time 100%. It was like more like a 90% thing. And for the, if you ever play PoE 1, I think it's a great game. PoE 1 is a great game. It is. It's just the graphics are too old now. I couldn't get into it anymore. Well, I don't know. If you have a new league, and Fopgun's playing, I'm just joking. I don't care what Fopgun does really. But if you have a new league and like 326 coming out, I'll definitely play that. If they have new changes, no more just settlers only. Like, you know, that's too boring. That is too boring. It's too many times they've done that. I'll definitely play, because it's still a fun game, but right now it's uninstalled because I kept it on my computer for so long, but uninstalled for now because there's no reason to keep it on. It takes up so much space. And but yeah, Maven, right? Yo, for Maven, Pox has the best video on the memory game. I love it. It's wonderful. That's a really good guide. The guy has like a really nice soothing voice on Pox. And so does Fubgun. But like, yeah, he has a really good guide on Maven. If you haven't watched it, like the way he takes a ZDPS chieftain and just calmly, slowly chips away at her health, shows you exactly what she has, you know, in her toolkit, how to counterplay it, and it's not that it's hard enough that it's fun to follow, and then once you've mastered it, it's an enjoyable fight. And every league I like to just, I always farm, I farm Cyrus every league for a lot of currency. Maven's always an expensive fight because she drops good loot, and then there's builds. The problem with Maven is that she is very, very easily glass cannon to death because she has no, unlike Cyrus that has a lot of like, he defends himself against those kinds of builds because there's that tornado and he always gets like few attacks off usually before you can nuke him down. He's annoying for a lot of builds, Cyrus is. But yeah, Pox's video on did I get splinters? And not realize it? What the hell? 15? What's going on here? I thought, did I finish the breach? Where did my splinters go? What happened here? I got like 30 every time. Is this because the map is so crowded and I just didn't kill that many mobs? Yeah. Probably just only got 10 splinters. I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, Pox's video about Maven. It's very clever. I don't know if he came up with this, but he divided. See, memorizing exactly where the things glow is wrong. That will just, it screws your memory up because it only, every time it either goes in, it either continues in the direction it's going or it reverses, and that's all you remember. Does it continue in that same? And it's always see, the fight's brilliant, right? I think the like there's certain places where it will not go the other way. Like I can't explain it, but like it doesn't matter. What is important is you don't memorize the sequence. Like was it left, up, down? You don't do that. You memorize continue or reverse, and then you just have to be aware of the reverse positions. So like there's always going to be a starting position you remember, right? And sometimes you get the easy one. He calls it a home run, right? So it's good to have a mnemonic for it, but it's not necessary. If you watch it, it will spin in a circle. It's a lot easier to remember. Start there and just walk in a counterclockwise circle instead of saying, "Oh, it was right, up, left, right, up." You don't have to remember that. You just remember it was a circle. It's so much easier. And then there's some of them that are really easy, like it's always reversed. It's right, up, right, up, right, up, right, up. That's so easy, right? And he calls it a shimmy. And it's so cool. You can just stand on the edge and just go, like, just shimmy back and forth between the edges, and you finish the memory game really easily that way. The hardest ones are the hybrids, right? It goes in one direction and reverses on the other, and you just have to remember where it reverses. And then they're harder. and you're put under pressure in the last phase because there's those degen beams, and you just touch them, it really hurts because you lose all your regen, right? And then for a Maven fight, you got to have defense. The fight is so miserable without defense. It is. It's like, what the hell? Shield Charge's shitty part is that it smacks things like in the environment you don't want to hit. Okay, thank you, mobs. That's miserable. Anyway. What did I hit there? Was it this object? I swear to God, like, I clicked on him. This? Well, that's his dead body. Or is it? I don't know. Anyway. I didn't get any goddamn breach stones. Oof. Okay. I just pay for the breach stone, but I'd rather farm them out. But yeah, the Maven game is really fun in PoE once you learn it, and then the other phases are basically like you just need to stack enough defense in that fight so she doesn't kill you too quick. PoE 1 has a bad design. People love the game because of its, they've been playing forever, but as a person who's new to it, the incoming damage is so outrageous. The difference between a well-defended character and none is too astronomical. Like, it's hilarious. It's comical. Like, if you don't care about your defense and you walk into a boss fight, it's like you walk in and then you just die. And you're like, what? What do you want me to do? And then, like, this is where you turn to the guides, right? That's not good design. Sorry. PoE lovers will disagree. I'll never agree with that. That's lazy. It's not lazy. I think it's just because the game was around for too long and it kind of evolved into that kind of mess. They should reduce the range of that. They should cull the extremes. Okay. I think they should also cull the extreme defensive options, where like you have people tanking the memory game. Stupid. That's stupid. I mean, okay, it's not stupid. It's kind of cool. I'll be honest, because like can you do that? Like, it's like, wow, the game is really flexible, and it's so it's okay to have that. But I mean, letting people like just accidentally go down on defense too much that they get insta-gibbed, like not even a fighting chance, like as in no reasonable human player could ever beat anything. This is also annoying. This juicing your tablets to juice maps. Woo. Is this fun? Like, is this fun? Like, to put your currency items on these things, which then juice something else? It's not fun. Conspiracy theories abound. Why am I even doing that? I'm going to drop these tablets on the ground and just say, and wait if someone wants free tablets. Because, let's make a party. Free tablets I don't want. Join and pick up. I don't think anyone will come though. Cause it's just, yeah. Is that good? Map bosses. Okay, I want the breach ones because I want to collect some breach. I'm kind of tired of bosses though. Someone did join. I'm gonna just throw the shitty ones away. It is pretty dumb that at this point, free inventory space in my mind holds more value than the tablets themselves. But that's how it is. No, I gotta stock these stupid. Ah. Oh, I got 40 here? Yikes. Okay. Keep those. What are the shitty ones? 3. I have too many tablets. Yeah, I play this game way too much, so. So, yeah. Just talking about the memory game. I don't mind playing it again, you know? People like free shit. I'm probably dumb for dropping that stuff because it's like, oh, you went offline. Why is that? Just I don't want to sell this shit, you know? Like, can you sell it? I don't know. You can, maybe you can. I despise the trading in this game. It should be fixed or improved upon a little bit. You know, they need to improve it. Just the core issue is just simple. It's just friction. It's just why all these extra steps? You know, everything humans do in life, we try to minimize the unnecessary steps because they're meaningless and waste time. They have no meaning, you know? The extra steps are just, who cares? Like, you know, you do it, you don't do it. It's like, imagine a game just had extra steps. Like, before you start a map, just click the 4 corners. Like, that's bad. I think there'd be outrage over something stupid like that, because it's too obvious at that point that it's basically time wasting. So anyway, next map, splinters. Okay. Anyway, yeah. Let's get more splinters. Try T3. No. Shh. I'm gonna buy splinters after though. It's too much grinding for the splinters, that's for sure. Yep. So I think they updated the Rogue Exile so that they don't actually the life bar doesn't appear until you get close. But
Diffusion.
where's the breach? Yikes! The breach stone. The breach is invisible. Crap! Completely whiffed the. Hold on. Claps. Okay. Yeah, breach. Go for clap. Clap. Ugh. Clap. I can't say that word. Clasped hand. Clasped hands. Why is it so hard to say? I don't know why. Because, it's a very odd. Oh, man. Dead end. This is where zoomy builds do really well, right? Oh, a breach lord? Is that like a way more? I gotta say, because they are delaying the loot for the breach at the end, it's so much more fun. It's so much more fun. Like, there's no reason why they should, you know. Now you can focus on touching the hands, and then go, and close the breach, and then the music has to stop. 44 splinters. Yo, that's pretty fun. Oh, I didn't update the I should have put the passive points in. Whoops. It's still at T2 level, right? Yeah. What? I lost splinters that way? Crap. Okay. Yeah. Keep it at T3. Okay, 100 splint. Oh wow. Okay, 100. So splinters come by really easily now. Like pretty easily. It's quite nice. I don't know what to say. Like, okay, breach and augury sucks though. I mean, it's so horrible. You never get a chance to pick anything up. Like, bleeding field is good for breach. Okay. One more and we try T3, because even though it's kind of fun, it's not like so fun, because is there a way to get if there's a way to get a whole breach stone per breach? That's fun. Is that possible? Can you get a whole breach stone per map? I guess it's possible if you have that node that has a. I guess I just put that in, huh? Because it's kind of fun to see like 10 breach stones in your It's weird. The chaos thing they ever do is like they then put numbers that are like odd numbers, like 22, 23, and not like your round, like, you know, your power of 5 numbers that everyone is used to, like 10, 15 and all that. They put numbers you don't see very often. It's amusing. It's like, it's interesting, isn't it? Like, same thing with the Chayula monk, right? He's got all these for his is it called reality rending? Like, you get the numbers for like the extra chances are like, they're all weird numbers. It's like, it's a characteristic of chaos damage. It's gonna be odd, like oddball prime numbers. It's funny. Okay. Okay, where's the breachstone? Oh, this is more fun when I was like making the build like better and better, but now that the build's kind of like complete, at least from the clear side, this is just monotonous. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. Okay, so like in PoE one thing that is so much better is just the scarab and the way you access maps. In the sense that there's no atlas like visible. We don't need. We do not need that fancy looking map. Sorry, I mean, as nice as it looks when you first encounter it, over time, the pretty facade is just it goes away, and it reveals its most clunky side. Like there's no meaning to going north, south, east, west, or whatever. And if that's going to be the case, there is no reason to have a geographical kind of a thing to a map, right? If going north, south, east, west all had the same weight and value, so now you're now inflicting a scroll penalty friction on the player for absolutely no, like it doesn't mean anything, right? So that's the big problem I think there, right? Like it would be cooler if going in a certain direction meant different things, if that makes any sense. Like I thought one mana left suggestion was so brilliant. It's so good. I don't see how it is not good. Doriani warns you, go any direction but south. Just don't go south. And what is south? South is like delve kind of scaling. You descend into like the depths of something like horrendous. That is fantastic. I mean, it triggered just hearing it, not even seeing it implemented. It's good. It's good. I mean, like, do you go south or not? You know? Well, if you're overconfident in your build, and some people are very overconfident in their builds, you go south, right? And then if you're not prepared for it, and you go south, you should get destroyed. And it's okay, because now we know, okay, I can't go south yet, I go north. And north should mean something. Going north means I want more, I don't know, citadels? Going west should mean I want more extra content. And going east should be I want easier, I don't know. You know, this is up to you, of course, but if you're going to keep the geographical system intact, I thought that was a wonderful, wonderful idea. Like, as in, like, yeah, I mean, right? Look, I got an atlas here that's been scrolled. First, I'm lost. I'm lost. Where is home? Here, here, here. Here. Loading, loading. It's taxing on a computer for no reason. You're not traversing any of this terrain physically, right? The deserts don't mean much. The only time that has meaning is when you're at a citadel. And those should appear way more often. And then maybe what you do for the drops is that it takes more of each to unlock the boss or something. I don't know. I mean, maybe you should have maybe you have tier 0, like do the PoE 1 system, where it takes like the fragments to fight the lower tiers, the non-Uber is a lot cheaper. In this case, it's not. It's the same cost, right? T0 Arbiter, T4 Arbiter, same cost. That's pretty dumb. Yeah, I can see where the frustration comes in. Like they had it all right. They had it all perfected. I dare say, in PoE 1, and they had to make change for change's sake, and it got worse. It did, for sure. Because I went back to Freesia League, and like, it's like some of the change, like some of the old ways they did stuff is so refreshing. It's like, yeah, this is good, this is nice. Now I want to play the end game. The end game is fun. In the end game in PoE 1, even though I didn't really want to play it because the graphics were so, I don't know, old, and the engine of the game was so, it feels like a 2010 era game, which is not bad. It's just, but like the systems are so much better, and like you want to like, I don't know what it is. Like the mechanics, they're so much better. Look, if you say, "Yo, do an ultimatum now," oh my God, why? You know, like, so I can pick annoying mod. Like, this is true in PoE 1 too. The mods are kind of annoying, but just the way it's kind of like, I guess there's no friction, right? Like, ultimatum in this game sucks a lot, not just because the mods are kind of annoying, which is okay. That's a challenge, right? But because why are you making us walk through those long hallways in between rounds? You know, you ever do ultimatum in a party? Like, it's so hilarious how everyone's like fighting to get on the elevator, and then like the long trudge, like, it's stupid. Like, okay, for the first trial, you want us to feel the environment of the Temple of Chaos. Get it. But to repeat this again and again in the end game is tedious. It's just tedious. Because we're not even appreciating it anymore, right? And forcing something down someone's throat and saying, yo, appreciate it, is not a good way to get them to appreciate it. They'll start hating it, right? Because you're forcing it down their throat. So, like, you know, I guess the thing is with PoE 1, if you want to do those end-game mechanics, like, there's just less friction. It's fun to, the scarab selling was fun too. Like, I'm dumping tablets on the ground, which I think tabs are basically the replacement for scarabs, because I am not going to price check each individual tablet to look at their app. And you know, the most dumbest thing I ever saw was tablet unidentified tier 5. Oh my God, give it a break with the itemization. Like, this is itemization on the wrong level, you know. Whereas ultimatum, for example, where you itemize the inscribed ultimatums, that's a good example of fun itemization, because there's meaning behind it, right? Like, what happens is someone is not wanting to do that challenge because it's not worth his time or just not spec for it. Someone else in the trade can pick that up and do it and get, and the guaranteed divine doubling or losing if you don't. That's brilliant. That was great design. I really got a rush. I did, from the ultimatum, inscribe ultimatums. That's so fun, you know, because yeah, I was raging every time I lost them because and the trial master mocks you for like just sucking overall. But that was such a good mechanic, you know. And Sanctum was fun too. All these Sanctum haters out here, you know, people who hate PoE 1 Sanctum, I like it. I mean, I would never run it on a generic build because that's just torturing yourself. But like, yeah, you could spec into it pretty easily on some other build, and it was fun to run, you know. I liked it. I was not that good at it. I lost many rounds, and I don't have mirrors dropping from it like other people, or like 8 divines. But there's a speed to it, and you have fewer dead ends. I cannot tell you how awful it feels in the current Sekima trials, whatever, Sanctum. I'll just call it Sanctum, okay? I think the name Sanctum just sticks better. When you are doing those gauntlet maps and there's a dead end, and it's like you gotta walk those stupid traps again, like if you make a mistake, it's too punishing. It's too punishing. Anyway, boss time. Curse ground, this. Yeah, it's pretty good. Now this boss has a really nasty attack that always gets me. No, not this one. Oh, that's not enough? Oh, this should be enough. Okay. Okay, I want the Breachstone though. Enough of regular map bosses. It's gone kind of boring. Oh, is this worth picking up? These can be worth multiple divines, right? If it's rolled well. I would definitely. When I was playing Flicker, I wanted these items anyway. This is such a PITA. Can't even ID the item if it's good or not. It's funny, like, I was just thinking, like, in PoE 1, why did I never get this problem? It's because at the end game, all the rares kind of suck. Like, it's not worth picking unless you're going to be crafting them. Like, rarely do they ever have, like, high value as they drop. And, but that's changed in this patch. Like, some of these rares that drop on the ground, they can be really high value. And while that may be good, it also means that... Dump this one. That there's more inventory management. And I see what's going on here. Most of these rares, they're often in the range of, oh, it's good, but if only it had that affix too, and this affix as well. That's just irritating. The Recombinator is kind of BS, you know. I don't know what to say. Like, I applaud anyone who sticks around a gamble long enough in the Recombinators, but like, it was more fun when the so-called exploit for kind of manipulating the outcome came out in PoE 1. I admired that creativity. That exclusive mod thing. You know, it was interesting enough that I even wanted to do that a little bit. What is this? T5. Okay. Yikes. Does this sell? Because the critical damage bonus roll is high. This is not useful, right? Because the low crit makes it almost worthless, right? I don't want to throw it away, but like, you know, again, what a... Okay, just throw away some enemies, some jewels. I don't care. It's getting to the point where I just don't care. Yeah, for sure. Like, crafting in this game being like just complete RNG, that is not good design. There might be other reasons why it's done this way, but yeah, it's a huge, you know, ugly point of the game. And I don't know, does Tencent have like a really big influence on what they're doing? I can't see anything, but I think Tencent is a bit, who knows, you know, good guys, bad guys, don't know, but everyone's telling, you know, saying how they're so good at the gacha systems, you know, to exploit people's minds for money because they know how the people behave. And it's like, please don't do that. Please don't do that. You know why? Because some people out there can detect this bullshit and they don't want to be exposed to it. And if they can't, you know, this is one of the last havens of gaming where you don't have to be that exposed to this kind of bullshit. At least not to that extent. It's like, not everything has to follow the exact same top tier monetization model. And you know, look at a game like D4, right? A game that's obviously completely driven by stock people. I have no other way to put it. It's obviously the game D4 and especially after it was taken over by Microsoft, everything in that game oozes conservative, like kids are in private school. I know I'm just reaching here, but like, and in the latest patch, like you can just detect it, right? If you have a bit of a BS radar, you can detect it. Like, it's just they they make decisions in that game based on what that decision will benefit their bottom line first. Now, there's a big distinction between no one's saying that they should be doing this thing for free or like, but as a general rule, I think in life, if you go into any venture and the first priority, how do I maximize retention? How do I maximize playtime? How do I maximize view count? If you do that, generally speaking, the outcome will not be good. Somehow people see through it. Not everybody, but most do. And of course, then they get to underhanded ways to do that. But people, I think, have a innate sense of what's genuine and what's not. And you take a game like Expedition 33, right? People are saying, oh, Ubisoft, learn from your lesson. They're not going to learn anything. Ubisoft is not going to learn anything. They have nothing to learn because it's in their nature to, they're a large corporation. Just like an individual cannot behave like a corporation cannot behave like an individual. It is just, you are trying to do something you're not. By virtue of being of that large size, that's all they can do, I think. When they weren't that big and still growing in a sense, they did pump out some really good titles. The Assassin's Creed series was really good. I had some of the great gaming memories from that series, but the latest one, Shadows, I even struggle to remember the name. Wow, that was really flat. I mean, like, everything was just flat. It felt like it was designed by a committee, where everyone's goal was just to not be the bad guy in the meeting room and offer the most unoffending suggestions on how to make the game good. And no surprise, with vast capital resources to scale, let's say, game the world size, you have your engine that you've designed years ago and improved upon. The game shows technical merit, of course, good graphics, good animations, voice acting, all that jazz. But it's not coming together in a very good final product because there's no guy on top wanting to make this a great game, like a really great game. Or maybe there is, but his vision is like always hampered by the voices of others. Let's put it that way. Meetings, where his inner voice of trying to express something artistic is just subdued by all these meetings. That's how I picture it. You know, if you work at Ubisoft, any large corporation, isn't most of your time spent on meetings? And if you keep having, in creativity, if you have all these other voices just hammering in, like just, no, do it this way, do it that way, you can't be creative anymore. Creativity is a solitary venture, unfortunately. Maybe a duo adventure, if you're lucky, you know, if the minds meld very well. Maybe 3 people. But 10 people, you can forget it. There'll be too much noise. Too much. And I don't believe, I think as the company grows in size and there's more elements involved, I think it's just exceedingly impossible to make a very good and very, I think the Apple iPhone was one of the very few exceptions. And that's only because Steve Jobs was a nasty dictator. People will look at his bad side, like they'll point at his bad side. They discover they're so woke. They discover something. Whoa, look at this guy. He was an asshole, right? I would be very surprised if it were the opposite. He was a good guy, nice to people, and he pumped out a really good product. That's impossible. And you know why? Because in order to fulfill something you want done really well, if you are always trying to please others, to make other people happy, you're going to get that. You can get that. But there is a sacrifice to be made. No doubt. Every time you do that, a part of that interesting vision you had gets chipped away. Because you can always argue the opposite for something that's very extreme. And now, there's a downside though, right? If you are extreme, you can go the wrong way extreme and pump out a very, very bad product. Let's just put it that way. It has like some signs of like greatness, but it just doesn't have any application, or it's just something's off without it, and then just it has no sales. No one finds any meaning in it. I guess you can say it just ups the risk, right? When you have an individual calling the shots on everything, the risk factor goes way up, but the reward factor also goes way up, right? Because he might land something genius that a committee could never achieve. So I guess Ubisoft is like going to play the safe game. Don't offend anybody. They're going to make everyone happy. Because that's what they're doing inside their offices too. They're making everyone happy. I can just see that. They're making everyone happy. Everyone who's got a voice, But out comes a mediocre, generic 7 out of 10 product. Forgettable. Right? And I don't know. Can they do it any other way? Not without downsizing to like a small studio again. I think that's why they divided their studios into different places, to not make it one big conglomerate like thing, but they're still a large corporation. I know, who knows what other financial issues they're dealing with. I don't know. I have no clue. I don't want to read into those things. Anyway, back to the game. I'm going to test T3 Zesht. And I'm going to make sure that I do T3 because I can screw it up once. Let's just see. It's just a scientific test. Remove the player from the equation. I just cannot screw it. Despair, Eye of Winter. No, wait. So for me, it would be Q, left click, mouse up. Whatever. I'll just wing it. Can you believe I'm already being overwhelmed by the sequence? That's really stupid, huh? But I am. I mean, Pinnacle bosses are like that, right? I mean, you need your buffs. You can't just go in like just. But anyway, yeah. Zesh, generally speaking, doesn't do anything dangerous in the first phase, like when he doesn't get his HP chipped away. But I have seen on T4 where he just flat out opens with the hand attack that drops on the ground, and that's the most dangerous one. Because unless you exceed some kind of HP pool here, getting hit by that is usually fatal. And it's hard to dodge because you can dodge roll it. By the way, I have an Unwavering Stance still spec, so I can't even dodge roll. But it's so weird. You have to be on the right axis because his hand is not entirely. How do I put this? It's not a square hand. It's longer in one direction. And if you dodge in the longer direction, you'll still get hit. Quite the detailed design. A bit over-engineered, if you ask me, because unless you're super calm about it, like as in you have unlimited retries, no one's going to be looking at the shape of the shadow on the ground. Usually everyone's just panic roll. I'm just panic rolling. And it's too bad because it'd be nice to have like a cool fight with him. And some people can do it. I can't. The character usually just moves too slow. Like you feel too sluggish to dodge his hands. The feeling of being overwhelmed on a back foot. And I don't know. It's okay. Yeah, it's a cool thing how they let you go behind the breach. And it's a cool addition. This is just so creative, like just the revealing of the alien space. Ugh. I don't like meaningless loot explosion. I gotta change my loot filter or something. Wait, do I have the, who cares? Who cares? Okay. The point here is just a test. So Q left click, mouse up. And then we alternate back and forth. And we'll see if he dies or not. If not, we try again. Or alter the strategy. Okay. If he doesn't hand attack at the beginning, I'm just gonna whatever. So Q, left click, mouse up, this, 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 this. T3, okay. I did not engage with the boss. And I think that's good enough. This is only T3 though, not T4. But, oh, Choir of the Storm, my favorite, one of my favorite items. It's a cool item. It looked like, from what I saw there, that he didn't have time to do a single action. And the rotation was simple. Despair, Eye of Winter. I'm not sure if it makes a difference, but it may. Like for a boss like this, you want every source of damage you can. And thanks to a vid I saw from Miso X Shiru or something, whatever his name is, you use this cheap unique. I think it's cheap, the Wicked Quill, and you just map Eye of Winter to weapon swap here to get more withered stacks. And the rotation is just Despair, Eye of Winter, Infernal Cry to buff your next shield charge, and then you just go back and forth between shield charge, Plague Nova, shield charge, Plague Nova, and you just hope he dies. That's it. That's it. So apparently it can do like, was that 13 million? I think T4 might be a bit of an issue. You'd run out of like charges and just gas in general, and you might have to do mechanics. I don't know. If you want to do T4s, I highly recommend a Flicker Strike build, or Know the Fight, or you can pump more damage. You got a better shield. You can spec double Infernal Cry. Like one Infernal Cry will do 2 empowers. This is big because this takes action time away from you. So, yeah. If it goes too fast, you might need more poison stacks, but for me, a T3 boss kill like that, it's good enough. You will get all your breach points, and if you want to farm T4, you know, that's whatever, right? You know, that's luxury territory at this point. For me, I think the build is really good. Like, you can do T3 like that. You don't have to even play the boss. And one item I think you really have to have for this kind of thing, Ice Fang Orbit is a must-have. I'm going to review the video later, but it does look like if you have this and you have a poison build, which has a 100% chance to poison, your first big hit will inflict a 25% chill on even pinnacle bosses apparently. And it might not hold true for T4, which will make it harder. And what that does is the boss has a 25% slow on him, and that's huge. And like for T4, I would think you might want to run Blasphemy, Temper Chains, because I don't know if this has a reduced effect, but whatever you can do to slow the boss down so you can just punch him longer without him doing anything would be beneficial. But yeah, I am very happy with the way the build is performing, and T3 boss kill Zesh like that is, to me, very good, because I literally did not even look at the boss. I was just 100% focusing to not screw up the rotation, because you can. And it's quite simple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, you know, infinite. That's it. So yeah, cool. Yeah, this does, is that 14 million? I think it's 14 million. Not sure. 14 million, boss doesn't move. Could be scaled to T4 kills, possibly. Not sure. I think this boss would struggle enormously against Ritual, because if you look at the data for the profile, if you look at the page for King of the Mist, he has 75% Chaos Res, and to my knowledge, I don't think there's a way to nullify Chaos Resistance. So this build would struggle. I could try it. I imagine the poison damage would be significantly lower. Zesh, I think, has 0 Chaos Res, or very low, so a poison build does pretty good damage against him. Yeah. But King of the Mist, like, for a Uber boss killer, I really think Flicker Strike, if you want to make a really good boss killer, Flicker Strike is a play for sure. Like, I've seen like people doing like running like Stormlance, Wind Serpent's Fury. Like, one thing I want to say is, do not look at Fubgun's video of how he killed a T4 Zesht with Wind Serpent's Fury and go, I'm going to do that. As a general rule, unless you are a currency fiend and you have tons of currency at all times, never follow a Fubgun build. Never. Because every time he picks up an item and uses it, it skyrockets 10 times in price. And you just go broke following his build. It's not that his builds are bad, it's just that they're not always the most efficient way to use your currency and get results in the game. It becomes inefficient when he picks it up. So following in his footsteps is never a good move. Never. Oh, one more thing. For the pinnacle bosses, you want comorbidity. I'll review the video later, but adding this to your shield charge lets you have 3 poisons, because you could also take these 2 nodes, spec out for Uber boss killing on Pathfinder. This would bring your poison count from 2 to 4 without modifying the gems. But, like, do you want to do that? I don't want to do that. I don't want to respec my tree for a Uber boss kill. Annoying. That's annoying. So, and you can keep comorbidity. I think you can just keep comorbidity on here for everything, because it does help. It can help against bosses in mapping if you just don't have enough damage to kill the boss in like 2 hits. Well, comorbidity allows you to have 3 hits, and 3 hits with big poison, it will wipe out any boss. Like, it does. 3 hits on this build with poison is about 10 million damage. I don't know what boss takes 10 million damage. Like, I played in parties before, and if you want to kill, let's say, a T15 boss, 16, okay, on max difficulty, in 5-man party scaling, they have like 30 million plus HP, and this build will fall apart. You just run out of gas, kind of. It will still do good damage. It's just, you know, it won't be exceptional. But I tell you, for that, if you have a Flicker Strike build, Flicker Strike will do 30 million on 1 flicker. It will. And you don't have to be like excessively geared for that. You have to be well geared. And the reason why I don't think Stormlance is a good option, Stormlance does really good damage with frenzy charges. It does. But the damage range is like in the, I don't know, it's like you're not CCing. Are you CCing the enemy? I don't know. Just whenever a build requires Sacred Flame, I would stay the hell away. They're jacking their damage up by like 60% more with that item, and it's not cheating. It's just, if your build requires that item to do exceptional damage, like, I can also put Sacred Flame here on a weapon swap, and I'd be doing like 60% more damage, 50% more, really. But again, If I was playing this game, I would never, ever, ever, ever buy Sacred Flame. And this build will also benefit greatly from Shrinterbox Pillar. I like to have the item. It looks so cool to collect, but I'd never pay 60 divines for it. That's just retarded. I mean, it's got low armor, so it doesn't do well with shield charge, but it's not about the item, it's about the cost. Okay, like, I have nothing against high cost items if they're worth that much. A Mage Blood is worth 200 divines because of how fast it makes you, and there's no way to get that speed any other way. No way, right? No way. I mean, very hard, and it's worth it. It's worth it. But items that give you like 30, 50, 70% more damage, I really hesitate to pay like 2 weeks of divine farming for that, or 1 week, whatever it is for you. It's not worth it. You might as well have more fun with the game by doing other builds that work well. Like Flicker Strike could not possibly cost you 20 divines to build up, right? And Flicker Strike is a very good build. I think Ronald Ray has a really good build with Amazon with Flicker Strike and Mage Fist. He brought Flicker Strike to my attention, at least very early in the league. He had videos of running it with he tried with Invoker, I think he wanted to do Amazon, but funny story, he said he accidentally pushed on the Ritualist. I don't know what he did, and it was before the reroll option, so he actually just started all over again with the Monk. I think Invoker's a bad choice for Flicker. It is, because I think Invoker has a very hard time to hit 100% crit with Flicker Strike. He doesn't have enough options. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I'm not sure. But who's talking to me? I'm creeped out. Is it him? Anyway. But yeah, like, I ran it with Gemling Legionnaire. In retrospect, I'd like to try with Amazon. I think Amazon might be a better option than Gemling. Gemling has a cool option of they can run high quality into Flicker, like really high quality. And what that does for Flicker Strike is that it lets it chain a lot. So if you want the funny stuff, I think you want to run Flicker on Gemling, because when you get Flicker to like 40 quality, and you put the support that lets it chain, like that doesn't consume charges, you have like a whopping 70 to 80% chance that after Flicker's done, it will just keep continuing. So like as long as your enemy's a target, it just keeps repeating itself. It's quite comical. But still, it's only 70 to 80%, so 30% chance it will stop too, right? So it's a bit of an RNG thing. Like you're letting it... A regular boss, right? Regular boss here. Like, it's pretty easy. Despair. This. Okay. And then, that was not as much damage. Oh, no, that doesn't look good, does it? Did I forget a step? Whatever. And just find him one... Just shield charge one more time, he's dead. Okay. I don't know why Fungus Behemoth is a funny boss when you kill him. I don't know why I didn't do any damage. It's so... Did I miss a Despair or something? I don't know. I'll review it. Maybe I missed a War Cry. I may have missed a War Cry. That could have been the reason why. The War Cry is really important in rotation. Is it the mods? Elite Weakness. Holy, is it the Despair? Because here I have 0 effective curses, so the Despair did nothing. It could have been Despair, but I mean, in the previous, I had like a 16 million on the same rotation, and that was only 4 mil. I'll look at it in more detail. Anyway, it's not like top tier for single target pinnacles, but if it can take down T3 Zesh with that kind of comfort level, that's really good in my book. Because look, the gear is mediocre. This wand, I don't even remember what it cost because it was dirt cheap. Nobody wants this kind of wand anymore. With no plus to level rolls, but just all gain as extra. Super cheap. 10 chaos. I picked this up from the ground. 1 divine. The shield is expensive. I don't remember where I got this from, honestly. I had it in my inventory. Just a lot of resistances. The prefixes are bad. A better ring would be max life. I don't know what else. In fact, like, don't they have those new rings where you have more suffixes and prefixes? Well, if you had a more suffixes ring and it had better rolls to... Like, this is not a good ring for this build, you know? But it doesn't matter. Ice Fang Orbit, really good. That means they get chilled when they get hit. Poisoned. Like, you instantly apply a 25% chill, and that's big, right? Because most people don't run cold damage, they run lightning, and lightning does not slow down the enemy. But slowing down a pinnacle boss is really important. Like, it makes it so much easier. Plague Finger, dirt cheap item, a whatever belt, really? It's a whatever belt. And Trample Toe, I don't know, 10 exalts. That's it. The only other, on gem wise, you kind of need, you need this to be high level. I have a Prism of Belief +3 on Plague Bear, but it's only 1 divine because nobody wants to run Plague Bear. So, you know, if you can get that, get that. It does crank up the stored poison damage from like 22 to 29. So that's a huge difference. But if you can't get that, then just don't do T3. I don't know what to say, you know? And Fizz, Chaos Mastery, Ambrosia, Deliberation. You don't have many options here. Shield Charge, I have a 5 link, but that's not that bad. It's 1 divine, right? Not even maxed out. Like, look, if I had pumped this to 21, had +1 melee skills here, on the amulet, the boss fight would have gone a lot faster. Second Wind, Execute, because of Deepest Tower, Heavy Swing, Conk Effect, and Comorbidity. This one's a new change I put from... I think I'll update the build with Comorbidity, because this is good for bosses. It brings the total poison count from 2 to 3. Unless you are somehow building it so that you reach this node. Building toxins. If you can get a Megalomaniac that has this, it's good. Then you can drop Comorbidity here and put in a damage. Shield Charge has a lot of damage options here for the 5 sockets. And you want this to hit really hard. Like really, 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 really hard. As hard as you can. The ideal situation is your Shield Charge hits so hard that in 1 hit on 1 target, it fully charges your Plague Nova. And of course, one important thing is to have 100% chance to poison. You know, I may have missed one of these. That could be one reason why the other boss didn't. I have to review the video. It should be 100% ideally. I'm off by 5. And I tested it. There's no benefit from going to 200. You don't get double poison from 1 hit. The rule does stand. And one thing that I saw from the tree that was really, really important is you take these nodes that are available here. The increased chance to inflict ailments, or there could be other places too. It's a multiplier on your poison chance. So you can grab flat chances here. 8 and okay, look, one more point I'd put in here, right? To put my or here. It does not matter. You put the your base poison chance to be 100 without supports. So every hit you ever do is always going to poison, right? Yeah. So this allows Shield Charge to do an extra poison. So 2 poisons from Shield Charge, 1 from Plague Bear, 3 poisons, which is just the right amount because you hit so slowly. Like you hit only like less than, like it's so slow. It's like 1 hit per second, if not more. And the poison takes 4. How long? I don't know here. What does it say? 3.6. It's about right. Going to 4 poisons is not going to be a big difference, right? because it takes you that long to stack 3 poisons. So yeah, that's about it. There is a definite case for somehow either anointing or getting the node building toxins so that you can add a big damage multiplier, but you don't want momentum here because in a pinnacle boss you're so pressed for time before they start doing bad stuff to you that you don't want to be backing out for momentum. And then, you know, is there another damage support? Kong, heavy swing. There must be another one. Close combat, for example, 25% more. But I mean, at that point, you're like just going for the high end damage, and you know, there's always going to be crazy options for that. But I don't like T4 bosses. Is there any good loot from that? I haven't seen much of it, so yeah. The build is kind of done. It's kind of sad because, well, no. Maybe I'll find the motivation to come back and do T4 scaling. But as it stands, tested as it is, I'll give it a break for now. Another build would be more interesting at this point. It's such a cool build, though. There might be some other cool builds you can make with Trample Toe. I mean, this is never going to help you on bosses, though. Unless there's another enemy, there's another mob in there with you. It's hilarious when that happens. And such a cool item. This one. Yeah. For sure, if they had allowed the frost wall thing to continue, well, this could be a legit one-shot Euroboss killer. Like, you know, because from what I can tell, if you unload a Plague Nova on a group of 6 objects that are like low HP, whatever is standing in Doriani's position here is taking like 10 to 20 million base damage, and then the poison would be like 30-40 mil like total after, and that would just wipe out about anything in the game. But because you will never have on Pinnacles, you'll never have 6 small low HP overkillable mobs in the room with you. If there is a way to do that, that would be so overpowered, right? Because then you can trivialize every boss, including Arbiter. If I had that, I'd go for Arbiter and go for the easy kills with some conditions because he has some weird DR and phasing. But oh shit, max lightning res roll? I'm keeping this one. That's a good roll. Quiet Storm. I have no goddamn room. Yeah, I don't need this. Okay, so yeah. What else is there on a tree that could be min-maxed? I don't know. It's withered. Nothing crazy, right? Nothing crazy is available. Just generic more. Oh shit! I wanted to. Oh right. These nodes. It's a wash. I don't know. No, I think low tolerance is crazy. This node, if ideally with more levels, you'd have to pick this one. 80% increased damage on full life. That would make any first big hit like massive, right? This is, I don't know, I think this node is huge. I feel like increased effective poison means duration and magnitude. In which case that's crazy, right? So your first hit is going to be crazy big. because the poison on that is going to be massive. Like if you miss your first poison, that's bad. It's really bad. Yeah. Cool. This cluster is huge, isn't it? 50% increased attack damage. Karn was like bitching about this node, saying, why does it have reduced attack speed? It sucks, I agree, but like, because the value of the attack damage is so high. And according to POB, you do a lot more damage with this node than without. There are builds like this that don't really scale that well with attack speed. Like, even if you have the acceleration shrine, it's not a huge deal. This is absolutely enormous. I realize lasting trauma is pretty damn strong because it's magnitude of all ailments, including shock, including chill? Yeah, including chill, right? And this is a must-have for this build, lasting trauma. For sure. Like a lot of this whole area has a gigantic cluster of big damage. And for low life, if you have the deepest tower, and here too. Lay Siege. This is really strong. I never realized how strong this is, right? Because I think on the whole tree, if you can get like 50% generic increased damage, it's just really strong as a node. And the way you know that is because when you have a node like this, where it says 80% increased damage, but with a big condition like that you can only meet once. So a 50% damage increase is huge, right? Like it's big. So Lay Siege, if you're running a shield, like, interesting, isn't it? Because you can basically almost overcome, I don't know, like, the problem with the shield is that you don't have offensive stats. You're sacrificing damage for a lot of defense. I also noticed that with any build, like if you have 70 evasion and 50 block, you're almost immune, almost, not quite, to most of the attacks you face in maps. You just don't get hit anymore. You occasionally get hit. And whenever you do get hit, Ghost Stance will just nullify it anyway. So you feel kind of immortal running through maps. But then you lose the damage, right? You have rolls like increased chaos damage, increased spell damage if you're running a spell build. But this will often recover that for you, right? Because if you have 50% block, I have 47 here, right? With little investment, well, that's 47 increased damage. And if you just anoint or get this node, the other one, the same twin, it's almost 100, right? 94 increased damage. Okay, you got your damage rolls back, you know? And you get a lot of good defensive affixes on his shield. Like, for sure, even though the Flicker Strike was more, like, boss killing, like, viable, through a map, it felt a little bit more, I don't know what it's word, you know, it's a bit more like it just dies here and there. But this build I've been playing so far, I just walk through Delhi with half my brain turned off, and I don't really die like that often. And I only have 27 chaos. You know, for people saying, "Oh, you need 75." Well, yeah, I did die a few times here and there to like chaos damage, but it's not like every map. It's like every 5 to 6 maps. And then other stuff gets you usually like a boss AoE slam or something. Just you can't dodge it. You can't evade it. You can't block it. You don't have enough HP, so bye, kind of a thing, right? Well, I'm supposed to not stand in that, but I don't react fast enough. But anyway, cool. Put the breach splinters here. All right. Let's look at the breach kill. Let's see. Is it 3 poisons? Yeah, 3 poisons. Yeah, 3 poisons, right. Comorbidity is really good there. Let's see, it was about... Okay. Reviewing the video, for sure you want Wither. I see in this fight, he went to 75 effective Withered. And that's pretty intense. Curse for 28, minus 28 Chaos Res. Max stacks of 70 Withered. I think that's max, right? So the poison was doing like 70% increased. He's max chilled, max shocked. Yep. Is that T4 Zashed? I am so confused. Is this T4 or not? It's not T4, right? Because T4 has 1 portal. But that's 16 million. Like, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Huh. Okay. Cool. Okay. If he does a hand hack at the beginning, I'm just gonna whatever. So Q, left click, mouse up, this, 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 this. T3, okay. I did not engage with the boss. And I think not that at the beginning, I'm just gonna whatever. So Q, left click, mouse up, this, 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 this. T3, okay. This, this, this. T3, okay. I did not engage with the boss. But it's not. I think you just keep comorbidity on one divine. It does crank up the stored poison, like in card, but slowing down. Okay, and then that was not as much. It's 70 though, right? Yeah. This, this, okay, and then that was not as much damage. Oh man, I see what happened. Okay, in the fungus behemoth one, I got it. It's because I failed to war cry in the behemoth fight. It's that big of a difference. It's amazing. The war cry is crazy. There must be an argument for using. Oh, where is it? War cries empower another attack. Oof. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a hard call to make. Okay. That's I'm gonna cut that stream out with the Uber boss kill.